I am very excited because I have a very special car and I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you around. It is, of course, the McLaren 720S. Arguably one of the fastest cars available for the road today. And just look at it, it's absolutely stunning. And where I want to start with this car, there are many indisputable facts about it, but the one most contentious thing is the way it looks. Let's talk about its styling. Now, I don't know if I'm convinced yet. Actually, I am. It's stunning, it's head-turning, and it does the job of a supercar. It makes you look. Is it possible for something to be not pretty but sexy? I think so, and that's exactly what the 720S does. That nose, look at it, the headlights are the thing that your eyes are drawn to. They kind of look like they've sculpted out of the face of a gargoyle or like a boxer's punched eye or something. Not particularly complimentary things to say about a car, but there it is. But this whole car is about aerodynamics, and you can see that in virtually every square centimetre of it. These huge air intakes for the brakes, intercoolers in here just below the headlight, that super slender headlight. It really is a masterpiece of engineering and aerodynamics. You'll notice on this one, it's in a very plain colour, white, and that, very interestingly, is free. You get that included in the price of the car. The price we'll come to a little bit later, but there's lots of bits that clearly aren't included in the price. Tons of carbon fibre. Now obviously the 720S is made largely of carbon fibre, but for this particular one you get the front splitter, the headlight surrounds, mirror caps, roof, bonnet, there's more at the back. That's all optional stuff, and it really adds to the bottom line. Beautiful wheels. This is an optional wheel with the machine finished face there. Very lightweight. It's wearing 19-inch Pirelli P0s, as you would expect on a car with this level of performance, and housed inside that lovely wheel are huge carbon ceramic brakes and not massive calipers, but this car is all about lightweight. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well, so it doesn't need the biggest brakes in the universe. More vents hidden in the door here, just behind the 720S badge. If you're wondering what 720 means, that's how many horsepowers or about PS this thing has. In kilowatts, it's around about 530. Now, previous McLarens had a big vent in the door, which some thought was a little bit ungainly and ugly. For this one, it's been hidden inside the door, and one of the best angles to look at this car is from the top, because you can see this lovely, elegant line following all the way around from the front of the windscreen through to the tail. Now, that vent that supplies the air to the engine is in here, and you'll see it better when I open the door. Engine is mid-engine, housed in underneath this glass cover. I particularly love the roof hinges. There's just so much to take in on this car. More huge rubber at the back, housing big carbon ceramic brakes. You'll notice there's an extra caliper on there. That's because one does the majority of the braking, the other one is for the handbrake. A really nice engineering solution. You don't want anything to double handle. This beautiful, huge carbon fibre rear spoiler, that's active as you might expect, pops up under hard driving, and if you're feeling a little bit showy, there's a button on the dash. We can just pop it up to impress people. More carbon fibre over the exhaust cover here. It's also lightweight and beautifully done. There's a bit of flex in it. And if you peer in down through there, you can see the 4-litre twin turbocharged V8, even at night, because McLaren very kindly put a red light to illuminate it in there. It looks like it's as hot as it is. Another defining feature of the 720S, those high-mounted dual exhausts. If we get down really low at the back here and have a peer through this more carbon fibre rear splitter, it looks like a race car. I've got the tail end of the gearbox, a dual clutch, 7-speed unit. There's braided lines everywhere. There's more gorgeous engineering. It does look like I'm at the tail end of a race car. But now I want to show you some particularly cool things in the interior. Even getting in and out of this car is special, and another defining feature, one of the many defining features, are these amazing dihedral doors. They extend up into the roof, which is particularly good because it makes it easier getting in and out. And once you're in, there is so much to take in. First of all, it's very cozy, but not claustrophobic. And McLaren has done an incredible job of keeping it light and airy. Even though the engine is behind me, I can see over it with a normal rear view mirror. These slender A-pillars allow really good forward visibility. Actually, genuinely, there's a lot of small hatchbacks that don't do the job as well. But this car isn't all about being practical and sensible, it's bonkers. And look at it, more carbon fibre absolutely everywhere. This one has a few options on the inside. This carbon fibre around the infotainment screen, on the top of the driver's instrument cluster, that's optional, but you do get it as standard on the steering wheel. And this steering wheel is just beautiful, ergonomically lovely. It's not too thick, it's beautifully formed, small, and just elegant. And the way this carbon fibre, McLaren is an absolute master of carbon fibre, and the way they even get the seams to join up is all just, it's art. This display here is a little bit special. You don't get any mechanical dials in here, but what you do get is an instrument cluster that moves all by itself. Now, when you're in one of the track or sports modes, you can hit a button optionally, and that folds away and just leaves you with just a rev counter and a shift light. That's all you need when you're getting stuck into this car. This demonstrates exactly why you don't need a massive home theatre size screen in your car. It's got everything in there you need, and it's so intuitive. I've got the hot buttons down there to take you to navigation and climate controls, and then it's all done with a touch screen. It's not over stylized and over designed, it's just simple and elegant and nice. That's really what the interior does for me. It's simple and elegant, not overdone, and a very nice place to spend some time. All this design here with flying buttresses, it's airy. I feel like there's loads of space. I don't feel like anything has been done purely for the sake of it. Some people have complained about the quality and the materials in some McLarens, and I think if they do see the odd bit that's flexing or feels like it's not quite screwed down, that's because McLaren is all about lightweight. There's no point making a particular trim thick and heavy if you don't have to, and maybe that's what they're getting confused with. There's also this camera here. Now that is so that the government can watch everything you're doing in the car. It's also part of McLaren's track recording system, so you can actually record your driving prowess or the opposite when you're on a track day, and you can watch it back later to see how good or bad you are. It's part of improving as a McLaren driver. Another option are these seats. These are the lighter sports package seats. They'll cost you a little bit more, and I love them. They're ergonomically excellent. They don't weigh the car down with unnecessary electrics. They're manually adjustable front and back, but if you want to raise them up, that's electric. So I think a really good balance of lightweight and convenience there. These red seat belts, very hot, matching the brake calipers. They'll cost you more as well. And one thing that's missing is a top spec sound system. You can get a Bang & Olufsen system in here, and that'll cost you extra, but I'm pleased to say they've stuck with the standard system. It sounds great, and it just keeps that bottom line a little bit more affordable. Not that this car is particularly affordable, $499,000 base. But no McLaren 720S has ever been sold as the base car because people get stuck into the options and then they cost $1 billion. Whether you go for a completely off-the-shelf version or go nuts with the options, this car is a lot of cash. But what performance do you get for that money? The performance figures and numbers surrounding this car are pretty startling. 530 kilowatts from that twin-turbo V8 and 770 Newton meters in a car that weighs just over 1,400 kilos. In fact, dry weight is under 1,300. So as you should imagine, 0 to 100 is pretty spectacular. McLaren says that car will do it in 2.9 seconds, and it won't stop until it gets to a speed of 341. Now, what does that look like? Well, stay tuned to the Motor YouTube channel because we've got a very special feature coming soon.